I'm gonna go to the video store and see if they have any new games.
Why didn't you cross when the bus had all its stop signs out?
That's for babies.
Craig, you should have someone take you up there.
Hey, Craig. Hey, Craig. Craig, come over here, kid. How you doing?
Fine.
Want to see my video games? I have a whole bunch I want to give to you.
How many are there?
Oh, I got about 40 video games here.
40?
Yeah.
Craig! Craig, wait in the car! Craig, don't get in the car!
Craig, that's a close call. Why'd you do that? He was gonna take me to his place so we can play computer games.
Craig, don't you realize what just happened? Didn't anyone ever tell you not to talk to strangers, let alone get in a car with one?
What do you mean? He was a nice guy. He had every computer game ever made.
Craig, you're so lucky. If you'd gotten in that car, you'd have never been seen again.
We have to report this to the police.
What?
Craig, is your mom home?
Just my big sister.
Hey, let's go to Mrs. Benetti's house. She's a really good friend of my mom's.
Do you think you can even describe him?
I always thought that this happened to other kids, but I didn't know it could happen to me.
Last year, Miss Roby spent the whole week on this kind of stuff.
Okay, guys, questions?
She called it red light, green light.
Red light, green light? What does a street light have to do with this?
No, red light can also mean danger. What just happened to you, that was a red light thing. Green light is the opposite. It's safe.
Safe? How?
Like what we're doing now, calling the police. Jamie knows that Mrs. Benetti will help us, so Mrs. Benetti is like a green light.
Yes, I'd like to report a detective. Same with her house. It's a safe place for us to go.
The police are coming over here, Craig, and they want to talk to you.
But I didn't do anything wrong.
Don't worry. They just want to make sure you're okay. And they probably want you to describe the man in the truck and get down the license plate number that Jamie wrote down. Oh, the police will probably take you home, too.
Cool, I get to ride in a police cruiser. Do I have to tell my parents?
Of course, your parents are green lights, too.
Did your teacher talk about red light and green light also?
Yeah, but I had something happen to me last year.
You did? A man in the car?
No, it wasn't the same. It was a woman about my size.
A woman? I thought it was only men who did bad things.
Never let a kind face fool you.
Hey, do you think you could help me?
Well, I'm not really supposed to talk to strangers. She said she wasn't a stranger, that her house is right there, and she wanted me to help her look in the woods for a dog.
What did you do?
I don't really see a dog. I kept my distance from her, but when she kept moving towards me, I got scared and screamed no, and ran as fast as I could to the library.
You knew that taking money from a stranger and going into the woods was a red light.
But what if the library wasn't there?
I would have run home, or to a place where there's lots of people.
When you're by yourself, you have to be extra careful.
Yeah, you have to know where the green light places are that you can go.
Stay out of red light areas where you don't belong, or when you're by yourself.
Hey guys, let's come in here with me.
And always try to stay in a group. Use the buddy system, even if you're playing outside your own home. Like the mall, it can be a fun place to go. But it's a dangerous place for a kid alone.
Michael, come here.
Children alone in malls are targets for all sorts of people. Young kids have gone into mall restrooms alone and have never been seen again. Use the buddy system if you're not with a parent or guardian.
Hey, did you guys hear about the man who was arrested at Michael's house?
Michael and his sister Shauna had just come home from school. Michael looked out the window and saw a big van. The man told him that he was there to fix the furnace.
Hey, Mike,
He
let
even
me
knew
in.
Michael's
Come on,
name.
Your dad sent me to fix the furnace.
That's when Shauna...
What? What happened? She didn't open the door, did she?
No, Michael stopped her.
door!
He thought the man went away, but he didn't.
Let me in. Come on.
Michael called 911.
Hello? But how did Michael know that this was a red light? Not all repairmen are red light people. Are they?
No, Michael, Shauna, and their parents have a password to let people in the house. The man did not know the password. Green light people don't come to repair things when your parents aren't home. And your mother would tell you if someone was coming over.
But he knew Michael's name.
I know, that's a trick he used. It's easy to find out someone's name. A stranger may have heard Michael's mom or a friend call his name. Or seen it on a name tag, clothes, or a book. If you have to put your name on something, put it on the inside. It's really easy to find out information about people with computers everywhere.
That makes sense. Did they catch him?
Yep. Michael gave such a good description of the man in the truck that he wasn't hard to find.
So he wasn't a repairman. He was disguised.
You can buy all kinds of clothes to make you look official, but don't let anyone in your house or go with anybody unless you have permission from your parents or the person in charge of you. You know, red light things happen all the time to kids like us. Especially kids that do red light things. Do you remember that fire about 2 months ago on the other side of town?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. All that black smoke.
Cool? That fire was started by a kid with matches. 3 houses burned down and 5 people were killed, including the boy who started the fire.
I wish he would have thought red light when he picked up those matches.
Hey, what about that kid at South Elementary?
It was horrible. Craig, promise me if you ever come across a gun at your house or wherever, you won't touch it, and you'll tell an adult. Promise.
Yeah, I promise.
How's everyone doing out here?
Fine.
Okay, well, if you need me or if you need anything, just go ahead and come inside because I'll be right in here, okay? Okay.
Did you guys hear about Joey and Matt?
They used a payphone at school and called 911 and left a fake emergency call. The police knew right away the call came from school.
They got in a lot of trouble.
I don't know what the big deal was.
Mrs. Hickey, could you send Joey and Matt to the office, please?
Craig, what if your house was burning down, or your dad was having a heart attack, but the fire truck or ambulances were out on a false alarm?
Okay, making prank phone calls is a red light too.
Think it's pretty funny?
I heard they both cried like babies.
Talking about trouble, I heard your sister Rhonda had the whole neighborhood looking for her the other day.
She's grounded for the rest of her life. She went to the mall and a movie without telling an adult where she was going.
Who'd she tell?
She said she told me.
Craig, even you should know. You have to tell an adult where you're going, how you're getting there, and when you're going to be back.
Well, almost the same thing happened to Derek.
Not really. His dad's car broke down, and he was stuck waiting.
He did the right thing. He stayed where he told his dad they would meet. And he asked his coach to wait with him.
See you, Derek.
See ya. Yeah. Hey, Coach.
Yeah.
Do you think you can stay a little later? My dad's a little late.
Not a problem. Hey, Justin, put the bag down.
All right.
We're gonna hang out here. Don't worry about it.
Hey, Dad, what's up, dude?
If that ever happens to you, find an adult that you can trust to stay with you.
Does that make his coach a Green Light person?
All right, guys. Next week, same
You
time,
bet it
okay?
does. Any adults that you, your parents, or guardian trust are Green Light people.
How can you tell a red light person from a green light person?
You must be careful around all strangers.
What do you do if you thought someone was a green light person, but turned out to be a red light person? Why?
A friend of mine told me his uncle comes into his room some nights and does things. You know, touches him in places he's uncomfortable with. Then he tells him it's their little secret.
He's too scared to tell anyone but me. His uncle says that it's all his fault and that no one will believe him.
He has to say no. It's not his fault his uncle is doing this to him.
No!
He should not keep this a secret. Get him to tell his mom. If he can't do that, tell your mom or any Green Light person he can trust. And if he has to, keep telling Green Light people until someone does believe him.
I wonder where the police are.
I'll go check with Mrs. Benetti.
Are there any green light things left to do?
Sure there are. Lots of stuff. Like going to the movies, going to the mall, playing sports. You just have to be careful, that's all.
Hey, Whitney, thanks. You two really opened my eyes today.
Craig Matthews, I believe there may be hope for you yet.
We couldn't cover everything in this video.
Talk to the Green Light person showing you this video about what you've just seen.
When you go home, make sure you talk to your parents.
Before you do anything, think red light or green light.
And remember these rules.
I say no to red light people. No. Then I run and tell an adult. No!
We know better now.
We'll never do red light things.
True.
Before I go anywhere, I'll tell my parents where I'm going and who I'm going with.
I always get permission from my parents.
I never accept anything without my parents knowing.
Games here.
We always use the buddy system when we're outside.
And I never play in red light areas. It's not my fault if someone touches me in ways I don't like.
I have the right to be safe. There are grown-ups that care about me and can protect me.